Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Monday afternoon slash evening Zoom edition. It's a green day. We've had a really nice bounce back in all the markets, especially Bitcoin. Lots of news slash rumors going on about the pending ETF. There was a CNBC report. I posted this in our Slack group. I'm not going to share it because it was just a link, but CNBC reports spot ETF likely to be approved Wednesday, potentially trading on Thursday or Friday. So that would be big news. We've been talking about the ETF for a couple of months now, and whether it's a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing, or if this will continue to pump up prices. I think this and other reports have pushed the markets up. So we're definitely buying the news, or buying the rumor. We'll see if the news plays out the way we would like. I'll share my screen. We'll look at Bitcoin. Okay, should be seeing my Bitcoin chart. We hit 47K. We were there for an hour or two. Didn't hold it. Kind of hovering just below at the moment. Yeah, we were at 47.2, give or take. And so we're into the top range of the zone I drew several weeks ago. So I've got 48K as the top of this range going back to March of 22 now. So the last time Bitcoin was up there. Well, again, it all depends on this ETF, I think. That's not a real controversial opinion to have, but we're up almost 7% on Bitcoin today. And let's look at Ethereum. It's been tagging along. We're up almost right at 5% on Ethereum. Nowhere near the 3,000 zone I've got drawn here. So I'm going to shrink this or make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. We've been above this 22 or 2150 zone on Ethereum for quite a while, but unable to break above 2450 and hold that as a close. Not sure how much steam Ethereum will generate as a result of the Bitcoin ETF. There has been talk of a Ethereum ETF later this spring, so that would certainly affect Ethereum, one would think. Any questions or comments about the markets overall? We'll check out Altcoin Alert and iCoinPro. Look for some day trades and some short-term swing trades. Okay, we'll head over to Altcoin Alert. Gonna refresh. I'm on the altcoin radar. I've got all the columns available to me. My first sort is usually the AA score. Looking for values 80 or above, though I will fudge a little, go 78, 79 if there's a coin there that I like. This one just jumped up one, the Harmony coin. So I hadn't seen this one up there. I had an alert on render from earlier this morning and traded that. But let's check out one.
It was good.
Okay.
What's that? Yeah, I'm just
Um,
watching stuff.
do we have someone joining me? Yes, we have Jeremy West. Hello, Jeremy West. You joined me before?
No, I'm so sorry. If you can hear me, my apologies.
Yeah, that's fine. I asked you a question, so you can answer. I'm glad to have you. And yeah, just go ahead and stay muted unless you're going to ask me a question. So,
No
all
problem. Thank you.
right. We'll chat with you a little later. Let me get back to my share. Okay, I'm still hearing background noise, so if that's you, please mute unless you have a question. So we're on the one coin on the 5-minute chart. This is my day trading setup or layout. I've also got a swing trade layout we'll look at a little later. And this is an older project. I've traded it before. A little bit in 23, towards the end of the year. It had some movement. Let's look at the day chart real quick. Yeah, this was pumping in December, right around Christmas, just before. Then it gave most of it back and looks like it's bouncing back today. So a quick look on the 5-minute, looking for a dip sequence, not even close. As you know, if you've been with me before, I prefer to set alerts on indicators, and we'll look at those shortly. But if you don't want to deal with indicators, you just want to catch some support and resistance. We've got the green zone down here at 1540. You can right click and add an alert and try to catch that pullback. I usually use information sources as the names of my alerts, AA score purchase, and notifications. Notify an app on my phone, show pop-up on my desktop computer, and play a sound also on my computer, and choose one that you like. That's how you do that. You could also do another one here. I see quite a bit of action around this 1620 area. So those are potential areas for price alerts. On our indicators on the 15-minute chart, which is my preference, we are in the red zone, so at resistance at the moment. This might be something I consider shorting. But if you're going to short when the market's pumping like this, you probably want to employ a stop loss of some kind. The other option would be to set alerts on the RTI. On a different coin, I did a 50. It broke above the 50, and I bought it. It was on Mask, I believe, and picked up a quick 1%, 10x leverage. So I like that. I also caught, I think, the same coin down here. It broke below the 20 and then came back up, broke above the 20, and that's my dip and retrace, which is my favorite strategy. So two good setups with the RTI today. And for this one, Harmony is broken well above the 80. And if you're going to short it, you might want to wait for it to drop below the 80, show some signs that it's trending down. Now it could break below the 80 and then break back up again. That could be an entry on a long. So let's review on our potential alerts. If we're going to trade this as a spot trade, the dip and the retrace is going to be crossing up on the 20. And you can do that only once if you just want to make one trade, or if you want to catch this multiple times during the day, you put on your once per bar close or once per bar. I find I have better results with once per bar close. And then that'll stay on all day until you turn it off. Again, alert name, AA score purchase, notifications, do that as you see fit. You could also do the 50 value, which is that dotted line. See how it broke above the 50 and kept going. That can be a good entry as well. It shows signs of strength. Also well confirmed by the cumulative delta down here. Strong green candle action up. So when you get a movement like this with good confirmation, that's usually a go. And then finally, you can, on the long side, you can go above the 80. That's the dotted line here. And as you can see, it broke above the 80 and kept going. Had a really nice movement there. However, on that one, when it broke above the 80, were we in the red zone? No, we weren't. We're still far enough away from the red zone on that break that would have been a good entry. This is resistance. You don't usually want to take a long at resistance. You may want to wait till it breaks through resistance and shows additional strength, and then get in. But like right at resistance, I wouldn't take a long there. Okay. Now, if you are like me and you trade on leverage, you're trading market in both directions, long and short, we can use different alerts. So instead of crossing up or crossing down, we're going to exit a channel. So this is our trend trade approach, exiting a channel. Once per bar close. And I'll just go ahead and do this way I would usually do it. 3 notes reverb is my favorite. So I'm going to click create. And you see I get this rectangle on the RTI. So when it breaks above, in this situation, it would dip below and then break above. I'll get an alert telling me that, and then I can choose if I want to take that trade. If it plunges down below here and breaks below the 20, then I'll get that alert as well. And then the dip and the retrace alert is a little different. That is entering a channel. 80 on the top, 20 on the bottom. Once per bar close, and I call that my 1, 2, 3 dip pump. And I like to do a different alert for that one. I usually go with chirpy. So this one will trigger if it's already broken above the 80. If it dips below the 80, heading back down, that'll let me know that's a potential short. I'll consider that. Or it'll do something like this. It'll break down below the 20 and then break above here like it did this morning or late last night. And that's an excellent entry for a long position. Okay, those are the alerts I usually do for my day trades. Any questions on those before I move on to some other tokens to look at? Okay, that was an AA sort on Altcoin Alert. Another one I've been using is a short-term sentiment. That's this one here. And you can hover over the question mark to see what these, columns are, what their information sources are. This is short-term information on Twitter. I'm going to match that up with an Elder Impulse hourly, which is a technical indicator. And so when I see bullish or very bullish on both of these, that's usually worthy of further investigation. With Bitcoin pumping the way it is, some of these tangent projects tend to catch a ride. Bitcoin Gold, Bitcoin Cash, some of those. So keep that in mind. YFI is something I trade from time to time, as is GTC. And yeah, there's a bunch of matches with short-term sentiment and Elder Impulse hourly, Chromia, Polkadot, HBAR. These are all coins I trade with some frequency. So we'll look at YFI. I was looking at that one earlier today. We'll take a quick look at that one. Okay, on the 5, yeah, again, nowhere near a dip sequence at the moment. The green zone's at 72.74. A little bit of support here to 75.25, and more around here, 73.73. So those are 3 potential areas for price alerts. On the 15-minute, for our indicators, it broke above the 20, kept going, broke above the 50, kept going, broke above the 80, kept going. So those are all, you could set those are all separate alerts and just pick up, little moves, 1.5%, 2%, something like that, or you just stay in the trade the whole time. That's another option. And then you can use, some of this intermediate resistance to determine where you get out. I'm seeing, well, the red zone is probably the best area here, and that's the supply and demand visible range, the Lux Algo. I talk about my chart setups in my overview video. I updated that last week, submitted it Friday. So if you're on my email list, you should have that. I also posted it in the Slack group for Altcoin Alert, so you can catch it there and see in detail how I set up my charts. Okay, I think I would go both directions on this one. So that's going to be entering a channel on the 80-20 for dips and retraces, and then it's going to be exiting a channel for trend trading. And again, use your RTI, use your supply or support and resistance, and then also the cumulative delta can help you out as a confirmation. confirmation tool. Okay, any questions on YFI? Okay, so we looked at short-term sentiment and Altcoin Alert or AA score. Let's look at all long-term sentiment, and we'll use this to look at a short-term swing trade. So instead of matching up short and elder hourly, I'm going to look at long-term sentiment and elder impulse daily. Stacks has been pumping lately. I've traded this quite a bit the last 6 to 8 weeks. So we might end up looking at that one. New waves. YFII. ICP has been pumping. STX and ICP. Let's look at STX. I like shorting ICP, but that one's almost been pumping too much to short. All right, 5 minute. Yeah, they're all going to look like this, hanging around resistance on the 5-minute chart. Could get a pullback to right about here at 188. The midline between our support and resistance is here at 184. And the green zone down here at 175. Those are potential price alert areas. On our 15-minute, we're right at resistance. We're above the 80 on the RTI. So I would set up both alerts on this, going both directions. If we're up, I got to get out of my day trading mode. We're looking at this as more of a swing trade, so I should be on a longer chart. Let's look at the hour. And we are at resistance for the hour. How about the 4-hour? Yeah, this is the highest this has been. I wonder if this is an all-time high. Let's look at the week chart. Okay, now this was in the in 2022, it was above $2. So there's above 250 actually. So there's still room for this one to move as far as an all-time high. So I think on this one, I'm going to head over to my other layout. And we'll go over this briefly. I still use the supply and demand visible range for support and resistance. Then I use the supertrend for alerts to let me know when things are changing. And this one is super alert friendly because you can go for a buy, you can go for a sell or a direction change. I use the direction change the most. Once per bar close keeps it on until I turn it off. And you can change your settings as you see fit. Annie's ribbon, I will match up sometimes. This looks a little cluttered, but this kept me out of a trade today. I was going to short, I think it was ICP or one of the other ones. I got the sell signal, but the Annie's ribbon was still green. And we were also, I'm a little too close to resistance, so I didn't take a short on this one. This kept me out. So avoiding bad trades is just as important as taking good ones and getting good entries. But you can set the alert and then use the ribbon and your support and resistance for confirmation. On this one, you might, even if this buy alert goes off, maybe set a confirmation alert up here above the red zone. Have it break resistance before you consider taking a long on this. Or you can short it, and I'd say put a stop loss up here somewhere. That would be another way to go. So a few options on this one. Let's look at one that hasn't pumped so much today. So we looked at Harmony already as a day trade. Waves just dropped off on our Elder Impulse. Oh no, it's bullish on both. Yeah, let's look at waves real quick. And this one may not have moved as much. Thought this was there it is. All right, so this is a better chart potentially for something to retrace, because this has already gotten in the green zone on the 1 hour chart. And sorry, wrong chart. Dadgummit. I think it'll look the same on here though. Takes a moment for these to load. All right, so on waves, yeah, like the other chart, we broke below the green zone. We're heading out now, so this is a good place to get in. We have a buy signal that just went off, and Annie's ribbon is all green. They all turn green. So if you're interested in a short-term swing trade, this one could be good. The red zone is 23%. Wow. Here's some resistance here at about 4%. Again here at about 9%. Then kind of creeping up here as well. So any of those could be, could be exits. Just on something like this, you're probably going to be in the trade for a few days. If the Bitcoin ETF goes sideways, it could crash big. So you probably want to be prepared to either use a stop loss down here below the green zone. So you limit your loss to, that's still, I like it. Yeah, let's do a spot trade on this. Even 15% would hurt a little bit on the spot trade. That would be the area for a stop loss. Okay. I was a little scattered on that one. Please forgive me. Bouncing between these two layouts is something I'll have to get used to when I'm talking on these Zoom calls. So any questions on waves as a spot trade or a short-term swing trade? Okay. Let's see, we're at 427. We've looked at 3 different options for Altcoin Alert. I think that's sufficient. Let's head over to, well, before I leave Altcoin Alert and go to iCoinPro, any questions about anything I've talked about or anything you want to look at on iCoinPro? All right. iCoinPro, home of the RSI SPY and the Buddy Coin Crawler, the 123 dip. And this is where I usually send folks to learn the 123 dip. And then on these Zoom calls, we look at their information sources. So I like the RSI SPY to start. And I usually sort by the 1 hour RSI, try to catch those that have dipped below the 30 and are coming back. On the RTI, which is relative trend index, I go 20 and 80. On the RSI, the relative strength index, it's 30 and 70, but you can use them as you see fit. At the moment, we've only got a couple Bitcoin pairs below the 30, and then the values here are pretty high for any USDT pairs. The closest we've got is Monero, which is practically 40. So I'm going to pass on that one. I can also sort it this way. Something that's broken above the 70. That's usually often due to pullbacks. So sometimes I do this when I'm looking for a short, but sometimes it'll maybe pull back and keep breaking up, and it could be a long trade. We've got Bitcoin Cash here I talked about earlier, riding Bitcoin's tails. Yeah, Bitcoin's tail. And there's a bunch of coins here that have broken above the 70. You know, Litecoin, ENJ, these are all Chromia. These are all coins I like to trade. Woo Network I like. IOTEX. Let's look at BCH. On iCoinPro, you've got this handy little drop-down menu. Click on Trading View. It should open up my most recent layout, which might be the, this is opening up my basic chart. That's not what I want. So let me get out of this. Oh, we had an alert go off. That is probably a day trading alert. All right, so on YGG, this is an alert from this morning. It just broke below the 20. It's coming out of the red zone. It's bounced on this a couple times. So I don't know if I trust this. Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence. We got got 4 candles trending down on the cumulative delta, but not really big ones. Candle action's pretty good heading on down. I think I'm going to go for it. So I'm going to take a short on my day trading. I'm looking for a 1% move, a 10x leverage, and we will see what happens. It may not resolve till after this is over, but, and then I'm going to use my trading software to do this. So it's not available yet. I look forward to demonstrating it when it is, but anyway, I'm in a beta testing group, and hopefully that'll be ready in a couple months. But I digress. YGG short, consider it. All right, where was I? I was on iCoinPro, and we were going to look at BCH. And we'll look at that as a day trade. iCoinPro is way more of a day trading approach than Altcoin Alert, which does both. Okay, BCH on the 15-minute chart. Let's take a quick look at the 5. Yeah, way up. See some support 244 again here at about 237 in the green zone at 235, give or take. Okay, 15-minute chart. We've got, each time it's broken below 80, we've gotten a decent move down. We got this move down here. It broke. Let me use my vertical line. So break below the 80 here. Eventually came down. Same thing here. Same move. And we had a breakdown here. And it only came down a little bit. So that might have been right about here, 1.4%. And I'm looking at this as a short. And then I don't know if that would have come down or not. No, it didn't. So it hasn't broken below since. And then on the breaks below the 20 in the recoveries, we got one here, kind of a fake out. Does this dip and then comes back. Yeah, I would have probably ladder bought twice in here and then gotten out around here. I go over ladder buying as a technique. It's where you do like dollar cost averaging or additional purchases when your trade goes against you. It's an alternative to stop losses. I think if you're trading against the grain, I prefer stop losses. If you're making a bullish trade and it goes temporarily against you, the ladder buying technique can be more productive. You put more money in and you end up making higher profits. Like in this scenario, say it goes against me, I take 2 additional purchases and I get out here where my first position breaks even, and then my other 2 positions get like 3% and 6%. So that's a good day trading combination. And so you've got another break below the 20 and break back up. That's later in this move. So that's an excellent entry there. So that's the last time it's done that. So my alert would be entering a channel for the dip and the retrace, 80-20. Once per bar close, and this is RSI SPY. And do that alert how you want. If you want to catch a trend, if you want, maybe this dips below the 80 and then shoots back up, you can catch that type of move for exiting a channel, 80-20. Or if you're trading spot, you're just crossing up. You can cross up on the 80, the 50, the 20, whatever else on the RTI that you think looks good to you. You can set those alerts. Okay, any questions on Bitcoin Cash? Okay, that was RSI SPY. The other one I like is the Buddy Coin Crawler. And this is a tool that tells me what's moving, just generally doesn't determine a direction. So I often sort it by the average low to SMA. The low is a 24-hour low. The SMA line is the red line you see between the Bollinger Bands on the charts. You can also sort it by the current low to SMA. This one's a little more recent, but it just doesn't give me enough information, I think. So I prefer this one. Now I'm looking for values, usually a 4% and higher, quite a few of them now. Let's look at Celestia as a spot trade. This one's had kind of a wild ride lately. You can get it on Coinbase, so Americans can trade it. And it's showing up on my basic chart. All right, let's get out of here. Let's look at this as a swing trade. TIA USD. Okay, on the 1 hour, this is interesting. It had a big pump. It's had multiple pumps. Let's look at the day chart. Yeah, this one's been trending up pretty consistently since it was listed on Coinbase. It has an all-time high of over 17, so it's got a little bit of room to move. We're still towards the top of it. We're currently in a sell on the super trend. I'd look to just set an alert on this. Buy. Probably only once. It's unlikely to trigger more than that before the end of the day. This is Buddy Coin Crawler. And my notification, let's go with handbell. And if this goes off, and I'd like it better if it were emerging out of the green zone, but we're still less than halfway between the two. Even if it doesn't trigger till about here, you know, the potential profit's 9%. I love that. It's a great day trade. It might stay a little longer. Might take a day or two to get that, which is fine. So that's how I would approach Celestia as a spot trade and short-term swing trade. Any questions on Celestia? Okay, anything about what I've talked about at all? Okay, we do have another new person, Katrina. So Katrina and Jeremy joined me a little late. Can you want to unmute and say hello and give me an idea of what you're looking to accomplish with Altcoin Alert? Or would you rather not be put on the spot by someone you don't know that well? Okay. Well, Katrina unmuted. And it looks like she's trying to say something. I don't know, maybe she's driving home from work. She's got this on. She's just listening to it like a podcast. That's okay. How about you, Jeremy? You ready to?
I'm learning as much as I can, man. To be honest, Altcoin Pro is new. I'm doing some other stuff with those guys as well. I've got, fully employed, but been in crypto for many years, but can't seem to really unlock the code and just trying to learn as much as I can. Don't have the time to do day trading, but I am using some AI programs, trying to learn as many things as I possibly can. It's just daunting, and it's almost that you need a special coach or somebody work with you hands-on to actually really get involved with this industry at this point, man. To be honest, it's hard to go through all the different tutorials and online videos are all great. There's tons of it out there. You have to be, 24/7 doing that for the next year to really catch up. So trying my best to see what kind of all-stars are out there that we can learn from and work under, and hopefully all make money in the same process.
All right. Well, that's an admirable goal. I hope it works out for you. My specialty is, like I've said a few times, day trading, and I've been doing more short-term swing trading. But I learned from a mentor 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, pretty similar to what you described, is somebody I was able to talk to every day. But he was a day trader, so that's what I learned first. Most people learn buying and holding first, but so that's my emphasis because that's what I'm comfortable with, and I think Altcoin Alert really fits really well with that approach. But I understand that not everybody has the time that I do to do this, so I've been
I'm
focusing more on swing trading. That might be
Yeah,
more in your wheelhouse.
into the 24-hour plus swing trades. Those are the wheelhouse. But yeah. Also learning all the different platforms are important, and these tools. You're going through the altcoin pro and or the altcoin, that kind of thing. I'm also doing the 1% society with them as well. So I don't know if you know.
Well, so that's iCoin. You said Altcoin Pro. I think you're mixing them. So Altcoin Alert and iCoin
Altcoin
Pro.
Alert. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Altcoin Alert.
Okay.
There's all these different programs that are out there too.
Yeah.
So it's got it. What's the right ones for the right right fit?
Yeah, that is daunting. For me, I trusted the guy who I learned from because I'd known him from something else. But when I just started to expand and go beyond, day trading, that's where I really got overwhelmed, kind of what you're feeling now. And like, do I
Right.
use, my friends are now doing swing trading, but like for weeks at a time. And that I don't have that kind of patience. So
And you've been
yeah,
burned over the years. You've been burned, and ups and downs. You're working a ton with Coinbase, which is pretty basic if you ask me. I haven't really gone
it
out further
is.
than that. So give or take 60, 70 grand floating up and down right now. But I know I could do a lot more damage if I knew what I was doing.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope I can help.
Appreciate that.
You know, I've got these Zoom calls on Mondays and Fridays. I'm pretty available via email, and I will even do Zoom calls with people who, if they ask, and um, yeah, we can work something out on as far as that goes.
Talk offline potentially, CJ. Appreciate it,
Okay.
man.
I'll wrap that up here unless there's something else. Anybody else want to chime in or have a question before I wrap it up? Okay. I'll end it here. Thank you so much for joining me. Those of you who are on live, if you're watching on the recording, I appreciate that as well. Hope to see you live on Friday. Please check out the opportunities listed in the pinned comment. They help fund the channel. We'll see you next time. Bye.